Alright, so we just got the first episode of Season 3 of The Flash earlier this week, and the day after we got 2 brand new trailers for the rest of the season, both of them teasing some dark material for the rest of the show. So let's break both of them down and find all the Easter eggs, references, and potential spoilers in them. Let's check them out. Now we're going to start off by looking at this one called Paradox. It's a little more specific to Barry, but it gives us a lot of information regarding his friends and family too. It starts off with Barry presumably running out of Central City for reasons we're going to talk about in a minute, before we see him tracking down Cisco. Now for some reason he's in one of those group grief counseling sessions, and as we see later in the trailer, he's pretty mad at Barry for not being there for him during some event in his life.
Now you want to be there for me.
Now there's a rumor floating around that in this timeline, Cisco didn't give up Barry's identity to Captain Cold in episode 16 of the first season until after his brother Dante died, and because of that, Cisco ended up drifting further and further away emotionally from the rest of Team Flash. Now I could definitely buy this theory because Cisco's attitude when Barry tries to talk to him, it sounds very hostile, like Barry hasn't really been a good friend to him throughout this timeline, and he doesn't really sound like the usual cheerful guy he is. We also find out that Barry's talking to Felicity about the changes to the timeline, including the new villain Dr. Alchemy. Now, it definitely looks like Barry ran all the way out to Starling City, so I'm wondering if Felicity's even the person he was trying to see. You'd think a superhero would want to consult with other superheroes when it comes to stuff like time travel or supervillains he didn't know about before, but you never know, maybe he really was out there to go see Felicity. Speaking of Dr. Alchemy, we can see here that he's shooting Barry with something in his hand. It kind of looks like one of his element-based weapons, with the beam probably being the show's version of Elemento, a magnetic light created by the Albert Desmond version of the character. And just a quick side note here, we still don't know who Alchemy is yet, although a lot of people are assuming that it's going to be Tom Felton's character, Julian Dorn. However, the show is going to try to cover it up by having Tobin Bell, Jigsaw himself, providing the voice for Alchemy while he's in costume. We also get a bunch of people trying to figure out what's wrong with Barry, including Joe, Iris, and the previously mentioned Julian, all while Barry's just trying to get a handle on figuring out what happened in this new timeline he created. It looks like he's just going around asking people he knows what's up, on top of looking things up on the Arrow Cave computers. We can see here he's looking up profiles for Diggle, Oliver, and Felicity. And here's our first official look at Earth 1's Caitlin Snow transforming into Killer Frost. This is easily one of the best parts of this trailer because they make so many connections and references to her transformation in season 1, but they never actually went through with it. I guess the particle accelerator in this timeline affected Caitlin, or maybe she was in a different location and so she got affected. Right now there are way too many ways to spin this with no clear answers, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Now we're moving on to the next trailer titled Big Mistake. This one's a little bit longer than the Paradox trailer, and it gives us way more of a look at the rest of the main Flash cast, but it also gives us some extended versions of a few scenes. Like here at the start, we can see Barry reacting to something while traveling through time and crash landing here outside of some apartment buildings. It turns out that thing he's reacting to is Jay Garrick, who basically calls him out for screwing around with the timeline again.
Consequences to time travel. We're not gods, we're men.
You'd think after 2 seasons of time traveling not working out right, Barry would have gotten that idea already, but maybe he's just a little bit slow. Now here's something interesting. We get Joe, Caitlin, Cisco, Barry, and Iris all just hanging out around a dimensional portal while Earth 2 Harrison Wells shows up. First off, this is clearly a mashup of 2 different scenes because you can see Barry here in his normal street clothes and here in a suit. I guess the version of the scene with street clothes Barry happens before the last scene with Wally because you can see Harry right there, but why is Barry in this suit? The last time we saw him wear something like that was when he went to Earth 2 and was pretending to be his doppelganger. We know Harry is coming back because he wants some help with his daughter becoming a speedster, but is Barry going to end up going back to the other Earth? Again, it's something we don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Skipping past some of the stuff we've already seen, we can see here that the rival, fresh out of the Flashpoint timeline Barry created, is about to attack Barry, but then gets hit with something and he ends up being driven away. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this looks a lot like Ice to me, meaning that Caitlin's Killer Frost powers are growing and that, at least for a little bit, she's going to try to use them for good. I also think that this scene's taking place during the 7th episode of the season, the one Kevin Smith is directing. It was confirmed a while back that the episode he's going to direct is titled Killer Frost, so you can probably imagine what the focus is in that one. Now here we can see a talk between 2 of the other villains in the season, Top and Mirror Master. The talk's pretty generic, just the usual nobody can stop me now except maybe the hero type of thing. The most interesting thing about this part of the trailer though is the blink and you'll miss it Captain Cold cameo. Remember, he sacrificed himself during episode 15 of Legends of Tomorrow, so him coming back means that the Flashpoint changes messed with at least that episode's events. I wonder if Captain Cold ever went with the Legends in this timeline at all, since he's supposed to be his usual villain self again here, and he's going to be a member of the Legion of Doom when they come around in season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow. Alright, so that's about everything that I can find in these trailers at this moment. However, I am sure we're going to end up getting some more Flash related material soon, and maybe if we're lucky, maybe we'll even get a little something at the New York Comic Con this weekend. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to click that like button, maybe leave me a comment while you're at it, and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to check out any of my social media pages. I've got a Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. All those links are going to be in the description below. And I've also got my last video right there in the middle of your screen, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and click it, check it out. Alright, and I will see you all next time.